Hi, I'm Sam Turnpenny, Early Talent Attraction Lead here at Accenture in the UK, and I'm here with my colleague Joan.
Hi, I'm Joan Moore and I head up Early Talent Recruitment at Accenture. We hire all of the apprentices, interns and graduates into the UK. We're also an award-winning team. I'm delighted to say that at the Target Jobs National Graduate Recruitment Awards, we won the award for Best Sustainability in Early Talent.
Which is very exciting,
It
having just won the award. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it was an amazing achievement. So proud of the team for all the work that we've done in this space. And honestly, that was the icing on the cake.
And we're going to jump into talking a bit more about the awards and how you came to win it. But maybe first, let's just wind it back to the beginning. I've been a graduate recruiter for some years, and graduate recruitment for me is all flyers, brochures, traveling up and down the country visiting various universities. And none of that is really all that sustainable. How did you even go about planning to remove some of those things? How have you changed some of those things as part of your new sustainable strategy?
Great question. I'll try and sum it up neatly. So one of the first things we did was we actually looked at our internships. There was an opportunity actually with COVID to move a lot of those online. So what was really interesting was that we found that the students still really enjoyed the experience. They still got that really meaningful experience, but also it actually enabled us to reach out to a geographically more broad, but actually more diverse audience for those, which was great. The second thing was obviously travel and events, which was obviously a massive area for us. What we actually did was we moved away from a lot of the very traditional networking face-to-face events. And instead, as a technology company, it made sense for us to look at creating high-impact virtual events. We were able to create events such as Accenture Live, the Empowering Black Futures series, Empowering Female Futures. And again, we had amazing feedback from the students who attended those. In addition, you mentioned merchandise. Now, I remember the days as a recruiter going to events with huge pop-up stands and banners and all sorts of different merchandise being thrown around. So again, we made some massive changes there. We actually shifted to a place where we don't really give away merchandise in anywhere near the same way that we used to. In fact, what we try to do at those face-to-face events, if we're giving away anything, is do edible gifts. I mean, who can argue with that?
I can't argue with that.
It's great. It works out well for me. I always have to sample one at the start of the event. But actually, we also try to use local suppliers for those. So again, being really sensible about our carbon footprint in terms of how we're getting those gifts as well.
And a lot of that is really innovative stuff, but it also just makes sense, right?
Yeah, completely. And this is the other thing. The team have been so behind it. And yeah, of course, there's that element of taking a risk, but having that courage has really enabled us to drive forward in this space.
But it sounds like a lot of initiatives that you've been running in order to make this happen. How do you even go about measuring the results or any of the impact that these initiatives are having?
So as always, we always try to start with data. And we do want to make sure we're looking at these results because that's going to enable us to track, how we're performing for the future as well. But we do have some really great tangible impacts that we can share. So for example, back in the day as a recruiter, I remember we were going to between 400 and 500 events a year, which is just crazy when you think about it. Actually, in the last year, we had 27 different virtual events attended by about 5,000 people. And we also had 20 in-person events, which was attended by about 1,000. So if you think about it, actually, we've been able to reach out to a bigger audience through those virtual events, which is great. So there actually is no need for us to do 500 in-person events up and down the country, and we're still hiring great top talent. In addition to this, we used to print off and have about 29,000 flyers and brochures, I counted, which was mad. But in the last year, we've had 0. So again, a huge positive impact.
So it sounds like you've had a really big impact in all of the initiatives that you've run. How do you make sure that this is more of a continuous journey? Because this is all well and good doing this one time and having these impacts on one recruiting campaign, but how do you embed this in going forwards into the future?
The thing about my team is that our superpower is that we're really good at doing well today, but also always thinking about what's next, what we're doing tomorrow. So we have made a series of different pledges and shared goals as a team around things we want to achieve next. And again, we've got some exciting things in the pipeline. So we're building out on our training and development. We're making sure that everybody in the team takes part in our bespoke training for early talent recruitment, but also does the Accenture available sustainability quotient training, which is also great. So just kind of continuing those themes. But one of the ways that we're building on it is that this year, I'm excited to say, we have had an internal team create a carbon calculator for us bespoke, which is
Amazing.
so exciting. It's going to be great because it's going to enable us to look specifically at the type of events that we do, whether it's face-to-face or indeed virtual as well, and actually be able to say to students and other audiences in a way that will really resonate with people about what the meaningful, positive impacts are of the savings we've made. So, for example, the tool will enable us to say, because we didn't do that, we have made a saving of the equivalent of, 10 flights to Barcelona, or 10,000 phone charges or something like that. And I think that's going to be a really great tool for us to use going forward.
Makes it really relatable.
Completely. I think that's the thing. We want this stuff to be something that we can also share. So who knows, maybe this will be a product that we can make available to others in the future as well. The last thing that's worth mentioning is that, again, we really want to make sure with students that we're clearly communicating with them about what we're doing in this space. So we're going to build on our plans around the Green Coding Hackathon, which we started last year, because I think it's really important if we can build awareness with students, we can also help build their confidence about what more they can help do in this space and where they can make choices that will help support that sustainability agenda too. Or if they're already in the journey, to do more. I think that's the thing, actually, is if everyone could do one extra thing, it would have such a big impact across the board. And really encouraging students as well to think about the choices they're making and actually start to almost lobby employers to do more would be great.
Teamwork makes the dream work. It really is a team effort to make these things happen.
There's no I in team.
There's no I in team. I love that. And if people want to know more about sustainability at Accenture and the work that you're doing, where can they find out more info?
So there's lots of information actually on our website, lots of great reports, lots of stuff that we're sharing there, but of course also through the events that we do. We're always willing to talk about it. So use the website basically, but also if you have the opportunity to meet us face to face or you're on one of our online events, definitely ask the question.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today, Joan.
Much appreciated.
And
It's
best
been
of
great.
luck for the upcoming recruiting campaign.
Thank you.